Hey everybody, welcome to the SLO City Together
Podcast
with Jordan
and
Brent. Gordon and Brent. Welcome
reunited
to you both.
at last.
I'm happy to see you guys.
You guys had to weather last week's episode, and now we're here.
What happened last week?
We were going to do a rare 4-person podcast with myself, Brent, Tatum, and Andrew.
Okay.
Highlighting and recapping the mission trip to Mexico that Tatum and Andrew were both on.
Yeah.
And we did that, but Brent was not there. So it was just the three of us.
Ooh.
And I realized how much more comfortable I am with you all on this podcast than I am without you.
Why?
You feel nervous? I'm getting there's hairs on this mic, by the way. I'm getting hairs in my mouth.
It's probably mine. If you go back, I was editing it, and I noticed I said some things that were just like filler.
Yeah,
because you had to drive the
conversation.
Exactly. Whereas now I feel like I could stop talking and you guys would pick it up.
We would just.
What do y'all think about the Luka Doncic trade? Like that.
Exactly.
They weren't there to do that kind of stuff.
No. Or let me tell you about my car.
Yeah.
And how it's been boxed in.
I was about to bring up the fact that my kidneys hurt.
Your kidneys?
Is that weird? Do you ever have kidney pain?
I don't know if I would recognize kidney
You should talk
pain.
to my wife about that. She can dialyze you.
I think it's because I've had so much coffee today.
That could be.
I'm wondering when coffee consumption is going to catch up with me.
Stop, please. Put water in me.
Are you telling to Jordan or is it to your kidneys?
My kidneys.
Oh, okay. Just for
Put water in me like he's at. Sorry, kids. I gotta go water Brent. Gotta go water Uncle Brent.
This is weird. But I thought you did a good job in the conversation just to honor those guys.
Yes.
You know, it is a we church, just so everyone knows. I don't know how to take
a we church, but not a we church. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, it was.
I thought
fun.
it was good.
It was. I didn't mean that. I hope that didn't come off as me saying I'm not comfortable with them.
You didn't mean to dishonor them.
No.
Brent honored them.
I mean, I took it as dishonor.
I was trying to honor you all. It was a circle of honor.
Thank you.
Yes.
Jordan is back.
I feel a lot of pressure today on the podcast.
Well, now that my dad's got an automatic download set up on his podcast. The other
automatic download?
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
He's like, I want to listen to your podcast. I heard it's good. And I'm like, okay. So Dad, shout out to you.
Shout out to Buddy.
He's listening at full volume on his phone with 7 batteries attached to it. He refused it.
He's got double He did a sales pitch for several products in his time on the Central Coast. One was a battery phone case.
Okay.
Yes.
That he found to be a very novel idea that no one had heard of.
My dad went to the phone store.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hey, my battery's dying. I need a new battery." And they said,
"That's not how this works.
We don't have new batteries." He goes, "You don't sell phone batteries at the phone store?" They're like, "Well, you could get a new phone." He goes, "My phone works fine.
My phone's only 5 years old," is what he said. It's the oldest phone possible these days.
My phone was, and it's probably older than that. And so my stepsister bought him a case that has like an automatic battery recharger.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Look at this. If you push this button on the back,
no less than 15 times.
Goes, my phone, 15 times a day, he has to recharge his dead battery phone.
And 15 times a day, he'd go, "Hey, when we left here, I was at 21%. I'm at 65."
It gives you updates.
Like, wow. Okay.
Dad, just so you know, we're not making fun of you. We're laughing with you.
Yeah.
Love you, Dad.
He did a great. He was a great salesman for battery phone cases.
Yeah.
Yes.
Air fryers at my house. Yeah. He's a big air fryer guy.
Do you own an air fryer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he does as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trips a breaker all the time.
Really?
Well, because we've got
you got to get out of that tinder box. It's about ready to blow. I don't believe in clairvoyance or seeing the future, but I can predict the newspaper article. Pastor dies in fiery flames of his rental property.
It's a
air fryer induced.
It is a hack job of an electric system that was put in place in my home.
Scary.
I'm pretty sure it's 100 amps. Dad said it's 2.
No, it's not.
100
it says on
amp
the box.
I know,
100 amp.
100 amps to my
coming
home.
in the house.
6 people living under 100 amps.
Which the normal
small,
home
right?
is 200. Yeah.
Okay.
Today. 100 is like the older.
Do you see how many topics we just covered in 30 seconds or less?
This is rapid fire.
Okay. chemistry.
We're going for 30 topics today.
I was going to say the pressure. I don't think I know anyone who performs more poorly under pressure than me.
What?
I perform very poorly under pressure.
I don't know.
See, this
about
is
that.
what Jordan does. He makes the conversation about himself. And now we're going to spend most of our time
building him up.
talking. I'm kidding. No, but I do want to know more about this. What?
And then I have a second topic after that.
Okay, great.
Basketball.
Yeah.
I'm incredible at basketball till other people are around and I have to play in a game. Then I
Yeah.
can't make a shot. I can't dribble. I can't do anything. Pressure gets to me.
Okay. Okay.
Playing guitar, I feel like my fingers weigh 1,000 pounds once it's like you got to play the intro
'cause all
to
the
Good
blood's
Love by John Mayer.
Rushing to your
Yeah.
fingers.
If I'm sitting on my couch, it's flawless.
Yeah.
Pressure, I can't do it.
Interesting.
Ping pong. If I'm up,
Yeah.
game point, I will blow the next 3. There's not even a question
Yeah.
about it. I
Yeah.
can't perform under pressure, but I'm very good at standardized tests.
Yeah. You've told me about that. And
am.
multiple choice.
That's what a standardized
What
test
is
is.
I don't know
Yeah.
what that
What is
means.
happening?
I was
Yeah,
homeschooled.
it's just, Luke's trying to make it all about me. The other topic I wanted to talk about is somebody reminded me of the time
Wait,
that I really attacked your honor on this show, and it just reminded me. My one goal in life is to never make you as upset as I did in that one episode of the podcast, because I was so rude,
No, you were not.
and I'd like to publicly
To Brent,
apologize.
right?
No,
to you.
no, to you.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you were talking to Brent.
No, I was so mean to Luke. He
okay.
doesn't
Who?
deserve to be treated that way.
Thank you. Who?
I think, but
Well,
I think
guess
Luke is
it's
most
unrelated.
comfortable being treated rudely
That's not
from
true.
you
No.
rather than other people. Because if I'm rude to Luke,
Ah.
he lets me know. When you're rude to Luke, he's just like, well, Jordan's my best friend.
No, that's definitely not how I feel
No,
about
no.
in response to that.
So there you go.
Okay,
Okay.
well, you can respond to all of that.
All
Luke,
of it. Well,
you
there,
have the
there was
floor.
there was so much, and I'm trying to think of. Well, let's go back. Let's go back to the pressure.
Okay.
That was
First
the,
of all,
that was the last thing you said. That wasn't the first thing.
I don't agree with that. I
Will you hand
don't see that in you.
water bottle. Will you hand me that water? Sorry, Luke. Go ahead.
No, you get
We're
it.
It's not appropriate
I-
podcast behavior. As soon as we're talking about dishonoring Luke, and as soon as he starts talking, okay, go get that water bottle.
You know, I'm prepared for it now. It's okay. I know it's coming, so
we
it's all
gotta
good.
stop.
No, you're fine. I don't feel that way about you.
The pressure?
Yeah, I don't. I feel like you do a great job when the lights go on, as they say. As someone who plays music with you, I feel like you do a good job.
Prime example, Easter, when everything was falling apart.
Yeah,
You were on it. You were dialed.
You were.
You were pulling everything together. Things weren't falling apart.
No.
Yeah, you were good.
I was thinking in my mind, what do I even do right? I don't know
Well,
what to do right now.
no one would know.
Nothing
No one
is
did know.
working.
Yeah.
The screen's going black, and then we just got
Under
kind
pressure,
of
though,
lucky, and
when
CJ
the
was there.
sound was muted, you knew exactly what
Yeah.
button
I
to
didn't
push.
know what was wrong with that, but that's
And though you weren't at the soundboard, you communicated to them under pressure in a good way.
You've also told me, when was it? I think it was Thanksgiving weekend. I was out of town. Brent was supposed to lead, and you got sick.
Yeah, I got sick.
And so you had to jump in to lead and to help Keegan run sound.
True.
And I was like, hey, I'm so sorry that happened. Thanks for showing up for that. And you said it was kind of fun.
it was
to, like,
fun.
See?
And that's a lot of
that's a-
pressure. I would have folded
That's
in
a
that
pressure in a
situation.
comfort zone, though.
It's true.
That's fair.
But it's good.
Do I do this? Do I make it all about me?
We've
and then
talked
you
about this
guys
before.
just tell me
Yeah.
how good I am.
You brought this up actually on a previous episode.
Oh,
That this is
no.
what you do.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
So we know, and it's great.
No. But
Okay.
I think you're a friendly voice on the podcast that everybody
Absolutely.
looks forward to.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
Okay. What
So,
else do you want to talk
But no
about?
pressure.
Do you want to
Yeah.
go back and talk about phone batteries? Do you want to go back and talk about why is this thing so far away?
Graduation happened.
Yeah, I felt like graduation was going to be
This
something
is
that we
so
would talk
bad.
about.
This is so bad, Brent.
No, it's all right.
This is really bad. There you go.
Let's get a little personal and specific to you now, Brent.
Oh.
You this past Friday, your eldest son Keegan graduated high school.
Yeah.
Give us a little, I don't know, glimpse into that experience for you as a father.
It was good. It felt like a wedding week because our whole
did.
family was in town, and there were dinners and bonfires and beach trips and senior showcases, and graduation was good. I was emotional. I got a little emotional on the walk-in when they were playing that
Pomp and Circumstance.
Mm-hmm. I shed a single tear. My wife was too emotional, and then not
What?
She too was emotional. It wasn't TOO.
Well, it is.
Well, it is.
Just in the wrong.
Yes, in the wrong order. She too was emotional.
He was too emotional.
That's good.
And then it was like cool. We just celebrated. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't really sunk in yet.
Yeah,
hit
I don't
me,
think it
but
will.
I think I'm excited that summer is around the corner and all the time we get to catch up and hang out and all that stuff.
How well do you remember your high school graduation?
I do not.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember it was at Louisville Gardens downtown, and I remember nothing else.
Huh.
I didn't remember going to anything afterwards. You know, here they have like project graduation or something where like they take all the seniors to an undisclosed location for something
We didn't
fun.
do anything
And
like that.
I don't remember any of that. I don't remember having my graduation parties.
Yeah.
And I think I had two, maybe.
Really?
Because Dad had one and Mom had one.
Oh,
I think.
Wow.
I don't really remember any of it. Thank you guys for pointing to that. And but I don't remember any of it. So I think, you know, it was kind of a whirlwind this past week.
Yeah.
But it was really special.
Yeah.
It's good to hang out with Mom and Dad and Jenna's parents and Chad, Jenna's brother, Roxy, his wife, and their kids. And it's cool to see our whole families together. And
That was the most time I've ever spent with Chad and Roxy.
Yeah.
I've been around them in like little brief flashes, but that was cool.
Yeah, it was a good, like, easy. Honestly, it was easy. It was easy.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
it was fun.
That's a good
It
thing.
was fun. They loved coming to church and
Yeah.
seeing everything, and I think it was a powerful weekend for them to be here.
Yeah.
And so it was good.
Yeah. I was going to ask, do you remember your graduation very much, Jordan? No? Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really. I don't remember.
What was your
it.
graduating class in Bethel, Ohio?
How many?
Yeah,
I
how
don't know.
many?
Blair asked me that. I think I want to say it was around like 120.
Yeah. I was shocked at how many. I mean, Keegan said it's the largest class that SLO High's had in like
Really?
10 years.
How many was it?
Almost 500.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That high school is so cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
We dropped Ellison off because she started summer school yesterday. Not remedial summer school, but like she wants to take electives.
Hey, no judgment.
And you can't
Either
take
way.
electives unless you take a summer class. And so we got to walk around the campus a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's it makes me like,
Want to go back?
yeah,
I
I'm
wish you
like,
could've gone.
wow.
It's beautiful.
What a cool experience she'll have.
I told
She's
Keegan-
going to thrive. I'm so excited
Oh,
for
good.
her.
I tell my boys, I'm like, soak this up because you're not going to go to a college campus that's prettier than this.
No, it's...
And then Keegan went to the only campus that's prettier than that. He's going to go to Point Loma.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing. Shout out to all the people who put that thing together.
Yeah. SLO High.
SLO High. Our very own Ron Holcomb was a part of that as well.
Ah.
I don't know if Ron's a listener, but he helped build out some of that.
Really? It's really cool.
Yeah.
I have dreams about my high school once a month.
Like dreams of...
Graduation or just high
Nope,
school?
high school, the building.
Huh.
I'm trying to find a class. I can't get into my locker.
Yeah.
I'm going to the office
something
for
there.
some
What
reason.
happened?
I don't know.
Yeah. Because it's the pressure.
It's the pressure.
I gotta
of
find
us,
my
yeah.
locker.
Yes.
If there were no pressure, I could find it.
You know, they
Yeah.
took out all the lockers in the middle school.
I don't like that.
There's no lockers anymore.
Are there lockers at the high school?
No.
I don't like that. That's the one thing I don't like.
Well, what do you...
You have to have a locker.
What are you going to
That's
put?
what high school is.
What are
It's
you
the
gonna put?
locker.
I mean, there's lockers in the
What's a
locker
high school
room
without a
for
locker?
sports, but
Don't care. You
Yeah.
need a locker for your butts. Every movie and TV show, you have a locker. It's
Yeah,
a
now-
fundamental right.
I do like that they are doing away with the no phones. They're doing away with the phones in a no phone zone. I like that.
Huh. Could you say that more clearly?
I'm so tired. I told these guys, I'm a little grumpy this morning. I'm tired.
They're doing away with
That's
the phones
long
in a
week.
no phone zone.
So
yeah,
the kids
explain.
they have to put their phones in a bag.
What?
During classes.
Really?
I love it.
Yeah.
Jonathan Haidt wrote that book, Anxious Generation, and talked about how
The phone is
like if you follow him on all this stuff, they're like pushing for that all throughout the country, that high school campuses and middle school would be like no phone area. I mean, they can have them in between classes, but
Yeah.
wow.
he's
cool.
turning my treble up again.
Yeah.
You can hear it. You can,
Yeah,
sitting still. It's like a mental.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like, so if I text my kids when they're in school, they don't respond until lunch, which is kind of nice.
That makes me think about, the anxious generation. So you said, having not read the book or heard of it even until this moment, people ask.
You can tell this is going to be very
You can tell
insightful.
it's going to be very well educated. And
I've quoted it a couple times.
Have you? Yeah. Okay. People have asked the question. It's kind of a somewhat common question. Like, what is this generation's cigarette? Meaning, like, what is the thing we're doing that we think is totally fine that is actually harming us and we don't realize it?
Social media.
And 50 years from now, people are going to be like, why were you all doing that?
Although they're starting to figure out that social media is harming them.
Yeah, but I do think like the smartphone, honestly, which is weird because I don't think it's going away. Like I'm sure technology will still advance and will be maybe even more integrated with technology in 50 years. But I think there's something about that that's like I think there is starting, like you're saying, starting to be some realization of maybe this is
that
harming.
What
more
else
than,
could it be? Social media, coffee,
Fluoride.
Fluoride's a
We're
big
getting
one.
rid of it.
Yeah.
Are we? Is it
That's what I've
official?
heard. They're trying to get rid of it.
What is it? The color dyes in foods?
What?
Processed foods?
Red 40?
Yeah. That's a big one.
Cigarettes?
Cigarettes.
Well, yeah.
Vaping.
Vaping?
Probably-
Well, yeah, that's the obvious one.
What
Yeah.
else?
I don't know.
Contacts?
Contacts?
I've never put a contact in my eye.
I don't think that's bad for you.
I don't know. I'm just throwing out possibilities.
Yeah.
What is it? We might not know.
We might, yeah.
How will we
Hindsight.
know?
You wear contacts, Luke?
No.
Maybe it's
You don't.
AirPods. I saw something.
The
I saw
waves in
something
your brain.
about Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and all that stuff. That it like.
I wish I had a shot at that right here.
Oh, we'll clip that. We'll clip that. No, I don't know. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's all the.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe it's. What if it's satellites?
Yeah.
that's something I think about, and that's something I think about in the church as well. Is
what a great transition!
Like I don't know how crazy we want to get today, but there are things I think if you look back 50 years in the church that you go, how in the world were they towing that line? Like interracial marriage was a thing that in many churches was villainized.
Yes,
and it's like
50 years ago,
maybe.
80s? 80s?
I think so. I don't think that. I think so. In some,
well, I'm sure in some parts it still
exists. Yeah.
but just things like that where I'm like, what will that be for us? Where we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we were like so fixated on this issue or so whatever it is, and it's hard to predict those things, but I do believe there's like that kind of generational transformation, and then as we gain knowledge, and then it's like we start to go, ooh, wait, why do we? It's like,
where do we get down, or believe, or
that
even
word,
practice?
that word dogma,
I think
where it's like stuff we believe just because we've been told we're supposed to believe it, or
it's like a tradition.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, I see some of the. I go maybe not belief, but maybe go like philosophy. Like what are the philosophical things that you get stuck in that you see from 50 years ago that you're like, what's that today? That we're like, why did we do it like that?
Yeah.
Like, why did we, I don't know, just see all the Instagram preacher and like that movement.
Peace.
It's like, it's really easy. It's like, oh, you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to clip sermon reels and put them up, and it's you're supposed to get the biggest fault. And I don't know. I'm looking at that a lot because my feed is inundated with it. I turn and I don't know why. Maybe they
know you.
They know me.
Yep.
But I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Is that turning people on to the gospel, or is it just creating a bigger place for people to be like yelling at each other that they're right? You know what I mean? I don't know.
It almost, I mean, somewhat, maybe this won't be a perfect analogy, but it reminds me of like the parable of sowing seeds, you know? And it's like the one who just kind of just throws it out, like it lands on infertile ground and like it doesn't take root, right? Is that the rocky soil? Where it's like
and that's
grows
what you're
quick.
thinking about,
like that,
social media.
Yeah, I think that's
pastors.
kind of that approach is like I'm throwing out a bunch of seed and it's initially like sparking something, but there's not enough deep growth that it's going to take root and last. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's a perfect analogy, but kind of what you're saying with that sparked that thought.
Well, I'm even thinking like you said, what is this cigarette?
Yeah.
Don't do drugs, kids. If you're listening, we're gonna have to rate this now. Like explicit content. I
don't think it's explicit.
Cigarettes. Need I say more?
Need I say less?
Okay.
What was I saying?
The cigarette. What? Asking that question of what is the cigarette?
I know, but I was going in a direction.
I'm sorry.
Dang it.
Social media.
Yeah.
Influencer.
Hold on. Oh, I'm even thinking about it because I'm like, what is the quote unquote, I don't smoke, but what is the cigarette I am reaching for?
Yeah.
Even in our discomfort right now as a church that I don't, you know what I mean? That I'm like, maybe I don't need to reach for that right now. That's comfortable in our building. I'm a little frustrated this morning at like the lack of clarity and different things. And I'm like, I need clarity and I need direction, and we need this and we need this. And I'm reaching for this, like, make it happen. I'm riding this wave. I was just telling Heather between like, make it happen and wait for the Lord.
Yeah.
And it's like, what, that tension right there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not comfortable in, and so I'm like reaching for this, make it happen. And I think that is something that the church is like maybe a cigarette, so to speak, for the church, something comfortable, something that honestly can kill you if you just keep making it happen, keep making it happen, keep making it happen, keep making it happen.
It's true.
And I'm like, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I get that. That's a hard balance. I think I'm typically on the other end of that spectrum where
wait.
Yeah, and maybe that's good. I think there's value in both.
Totally bad to wait
that's
on
my
the Lord.
Cigarette. Yeah. No, but I think there is a balance, right? And it's a seasonal thing. Like, it kind of depends on the situation and how the Spirit is leading. But no, I think it can flow in both directions, right? Where it's like maybe God's asking you to hey, take part in helping, or not helping, but take part in making something happen with me.
Yeah.
But and it's easy to just be like, but I'm just going to wait and God's going to, you know what I mean? I think there's a balance there.
I think that side too is like the over spiritualizing of almost everything, or like almost goes the way of, I was talking to somebody yesterday about, they grew up in a home where everything was spiritual warfare, spiritually charged. And it was like, well, you're living in this is like spiritual abuse, and it's like everything. I don't know if that's the opposite of make it happen, but the other opposite.
That's a tough balance.
It is.
Yeah,
that is. And I felt myself, it's, it's like a years long process of like oscillating, because I think I am naturally more toward the under spiritualizing. And so I'll go through these seasons where I'm like, I want to see the beauty of like, oh, God's at work around me, and like, okay, let me like try to see the bigger ununderstandable stuff. Yeah. And then it's like, okay. And then I get to a place where I'm like, I'm like creating some things that maybe I want to see. So then I go back to like, no, let me just be present and see I feel myself oscillating in that, which maybe is the healthy balance, is like to have some freedom of motion.
Yeah.
But
I was going to ask you, because I've been thinking about this, because I've been thinking about you.
Thank you.
I'm thinking about you a lot. And
he's talking to Jordan right now, if you're just listening.
I don't think about Luke at all.
To be clear.
What I was going to ask you, Jordan, is, you were in ministry from 18, 16, 17, 18 till what year? What age? I mean, you're in ministry now.
Yeah. But like full time, 35.
But like
30.
when that changed and you like, we're not doing full time, like in the office every day.
Vocational ministry.
Yeah. And you're still doing ministry, of course. But how has that impacted your faith one way or the other? Like,
that's a good question. I think, so I'm a very loyal and rule following person. And so I think it is good. I think it has been good for me in kind of that way that I was just talking about and I feel I am also very susceptible to pressure.
Yeah.
And so I think being in full-time vocational ministry makes my eyesight very narrow and
limited.
small, where it's like, and I think in some ways that doesn't serve me well. And I think stepping out of that, like, I think it brought a lot more joy back in some ways. Like, I feel like even if I were to listen back to, I think, some of those podcasts where I first returned after my time off of staff, like, I honestly felt very positive and joyful. Whereas before, not that I was negative or like, I don't like this, but like my view was, I was worried and I was like, oh my gosh, and this is hard. And then I came back and I'm like, I can just enjoy this, and I don't have to feel pressure for church or spirituality or ministry to be anything specific, you know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so for me, it was really healthy. I don't know if that helped me be a more or less effective part of a body of believers, but for me, it made it a lot less about pressure to perform in any specific way.
Yeah. No, that's good. No, it's good.
And so it's like,
so it's helped.
I think so.
Has it helped
but like,
your connection with the Lord, or
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess that's where I can't say for sure.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know how measurable that is, but it's definitely changed. Yeah.
No,
I'd have to think more to give like a full answer of that, but it has certainly lowered the
squeezing.
Yeah. And I think made me a little more compassionate for others.
Yeah.
But I can't explain how.
In ministry or in the church?
In the
opposite,
church.
right? Yeah.
In the church, who are trying to, like, I guess when I was in ministry, like, and
I get that.
And this is going to sound
like, why aren't they signing up for that? Or why aren't they a part of that? And you're like, they have lives.
Right. And like, I'm not, and it sounds like I'm like, poo-pooing on like the ministry or church or like being super involved. And I'm not trying to do that, but it's like, this is our job, our family, our friends, our hobbies, it's like everything all the time. And so it's very hard to take a step back and go like, we're creating these opportunities for people to engage in a way that is healthy and available for them. We're not all things to all people. We can't be that. And
Paul was,
and they can't be all things for us. It's like there are other human beings who are wandering through the spiritual wilderness trying to, get closer to Jesus.
I had that conversation with somebody in ministry once. Like, I noticed this person was getting frustrated at people in the church for not X, Y, or Z. Yeah. And I'm like, that's your starting point is frustration. And I'm like, bro, like, or gal, you don't like, they have a 9 to 5, 9 to 6.
Right.
Yeah.
They've got kids in middle school. Like, schedules are crazy. And like, I think that's super helpful. Like that compassionate lens. And you do have to fight for it in this season.
Oh my goodness.
To get out of this.
Oh my goodness. It's for me, it was nearly impossible. Yeah. Because it's just everything. It's everything we're doing all the time. It's all we're thinking about. It's like, and it's from a good place. Like we want to create these healthy opportunities. And it's like, at some point, I think that pressure can hurt us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good, man.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
See, and you're good under that you're not good under that pressure. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's a pressure that, yeah.
That's pressure that I don't do well under.
I don't want.
That's fair.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's funny. I was talking about this with Abby last week. We went on a hike and talking about...
I thought she lived in Seattle.
She was visiting for a couple of days, yes. And what?
Just trying to make a joke.
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course. No, we were talking about like ministry and faith, and I don't know if I've had this realization recently, but I feel that tension that you're talking about of like when faith overlaps with your job and your, it's like, this is my church, but it's also my workplace. There's those tensions, and in some ways, I think there's two ways to look at it, and there's a healthy balance with all of this, right? It's like in some ways I can, where was I going with this? Let's take it from like a personal faith standpoint.
I feel very seen, very understood.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a good moment.
This doesn't happen much.
In some ways, like, because caring for people spiritually is a responsibility of mine from a work standpoint, there is like some extra motivation to nurture my faith. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you can look at that and think, oh, well, it's maybe my faith's not authentic. And you can start asking those questions, which I think is a good just question to ask and reflective thing to walk through. Right. But then there's also part of me that I think I've learned this more recently. Like that's actually a really cool thing though, as well, that there is like just that little bit of extra motivation to, like I said, nurture my faith, as long as it is done in a healthy, like healthily motivated way, right? Where I'm not doing it just because it's my job, but it's like, it is important for me. And so if that is just like an extra little nudge.
And I will say that is the thing that I probably do miss is what you're describing right there, which is like that built in, like, okay, I need to do this with a different level of intentionality because it's my job.
Yeah, I can't serve people well if I'm not taking the time to be filled, and be led and attuned with this
built-in accountability almost. Or to steward it well.
That's a great way to put it. Built-in accountability. Yeah. And it's so
and you have to weigh that motive too.
Absolutely. Yeah. But and I think another thing I've learned as well is Luke Roberts will often, when we talk about church things, Luke 2.0.
No. Second Luke.
Luke 0.9.
Yeah, he's too Luke. T-O-O.
Luke
too much Luke.
0.02.
He's too emotional.
He's too much Luke. But we'll talk about church stuff, and he'll say, he's like, if you don't want to talk about work right now, it's fine. And I'm grateful. Work. Yeah, I'm grateful that I can genuinely say, like, I love talking about church. It's not work. It's like we both care about this thing. Yeah. And we're talking about it as two people who are involved and invested and want to start, That's
nice of him to offer you.
It is nice.
Yeah.
Sure. But all that to say, I'm grateful that I don't feel that way about serving and working here, So.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Good talk.
I'm curious what else your Instagram algorithm
basketball.
Because the first thing that came to my mind was mine has given me this guy who's now on day 59 of kicking a rock until it turns into a perfect sphere. So if anybody wants to follow along on this journey, it's shocking the progress he's made. I was going to say,
is there progress?
Oh, it's almost a sphere.
Really? That's
Shirts and Pants is his account.
What kind of rock are we talking? Granite?
Sandstone?
This is mine.
Basketball. Old man basketball.
Wearing a LaMelo Ball jersey.
Cooking people.
That's how you got all those moves for our game the other day.
So, can I change the topic?
Please. Go for it.
We had a father-son basketball game this week.
Yeah.
Against a bunch of high school boys. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say I was 95% confident we were going to win.
Yeah, I felt pretty good.
I would have guessed you would have won as well.
Our team did change a little bit.
Last minute.
And I don't think they listened to this, but there were some non-basketball dads on the court.
Yeah.
And I will say I was very impressed by the athleticism and quickness of those sophomores, juniors in high school.
Yeah.
So fast. And they can
Yeah.
jump.
Yeah.
Like that's where
that one
that's
kid
where
that
your
I haven't
body
met,
fails.
he was smooth.
David?
Yes.
Yes.
He was smooth.
Lefty.
Man.
Lefty, yeah.
The lefties are
He
always
glided.
Yeah.
Effortless.
Yeah. Harlem Globetrotters.
Cole can grab rim
That's
on
awesome.
a concrete slab.
Yeah. It's impressive.
Keegan can shoot the three. Keegan he'll laugh.
I did. That was a bad moment for me. I was on the side. I was out of the game on the sideline, and Keegan caught the ball deep, and I said he can't shoot, and he hit a three.
Didn't even touch the rim.
Oh.
That was so much fun, though. It was so much fun. I how's your Achilles, by the way?
It's sore,
Sore
but
still.
it's better today.
Yeah, I'm finally getting over
Was
it.
it a close game or was
No,
it
it wasn't
pre-decided on their
necessarily
part?
close.
No, we got off to a slow start. We got down
Okay.
like 10 at the beginning. We never recovered.
You running full court?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that plays to their advantage.
I can't. You know what I found out? I can't rebound anymore. I can
That's
box
not true.
out,
Yeah.
but I can't secure the rebound because they are quicker and
they
jump higher.
They jump higher.
And so it's like, even when I box them out, if the ball hit the ground, when I would go to get it, somebody else would dart it. I'm like,
And oddly enough, I feel like when you're like tall and skinny like that, you're kind of harder to box out
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
just
Because
like
you're slippery.
slippery. Yeah.
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 Cole broke my ankles. He was quick. Keegan's strong too.
Yeah, I
like
bet.
a couple of them had some muscle more than I
Like-
expected.
Yeah.
like that's like he's strong. I wouldn't tell him that publicly, but
I do
Well, this
think
is pub-
I do
You
think
know this will be posted publicly.
I do
so-
think of a couple of our teammates had worked on some layups or something.
or just
coulda-
passed the ball
we
instead of
coulda-
jacked
Yeah,
up
yeah.
threes.
We could have done
That's
it. We could have done it. We were a little.
Yeah.
I think we were hopped up. We
Yeah.
did not perform well under pressure.
Yeah. Well, and you want to,
yeah.
you want to teach the kids a lesson,
Yes.
right?
We're gonna set a
There's
rematch. There's a rematch around the corner. So,
Yeah.
but that was fun. That was part of graduation, and it shows you how age really does. It wears on your knees.
Yeah.
So,
But it
Your
also makes
soul,
you
your
appreciate
spirit.
I used to play basketball, just pick up every Saturday
Yeah.
morning at the gym, the courts at Southeast. And there was always a group of older guys
They're good.
who'd get there at 7. And there was a guy who was probably 65 and just never missed. And
Yeah.
like elevated to a point where you couldn't block it.
yeah.
And it was incredible.
Do you know Steve Van Zandt? You know that name?
I know that name.
No.
Steve Van Zandt was one of my leaders at Crestwood. He was a small group leader forever. He's probably, I don't know how old he is. I'm 42 now. He's probably 55 maybe
Yeah.
now. Dude, short, but his just movements.
Yeah.
He cooked everybody he played against and never missed.
Yeah.
And I was just shocked.
Yeah.
Even back then, I was like in my 30s and
Yeah.
he would just slowly, methodically, old man basketball you to death.
Yeah.
And he was so good.
Oh.
So good.
Speaking of which, you had a birthday last week as well. We didn't mention that.
You know,
Happy late birthday.
it's
Brent.
42. It's not like a milestone birthday.
Jackie Robinson.
It was fun though. Fun
Yeah.
birthday. We just had dinner.
It's good.
And
I didn't. I sat on the class.
that's right. That's right. Jordan was in class from 6 to 8.
Fun.
So,
Fun stuff.
should we talk about how much time we got left?
You know, this
Probably
is
not.
longer than our normal episode, but
Okay.
so we can start to wrap it up.
Okay.
What did you have in mind?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
I said, should we talk about what's coming up? Should we
That's-
talk about what's
yeah.
around the corner?
Let's
Should
do
we
that.
talk about
Let's do our normal conclusion of
Okay.
what's coming up, what's ahead.
really excited for kids camp next week?
Yes.
We've got over 100 kids signed up for kids camp. Biggest number, not that numbers or metrics are what we're lasered in on, but every number represents a person.
There we go.
But there's a lot of families involved, a lot of people serving.
Yeah.
It's going to be here at Broad Street. Excited for that.
Yeah. The deadline to sign up is Father's Day. Sunday is
Which
the
is
last
Sunday
day to
is
sign up.
Father's Day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which that's a big day.
Yeah.
Wonder what I'll get. That's a joke.
I think you
That
know.
was a joke.
Socks, ties.
If you're a dad, come. We have a gift for you.
We do, and it's Slow Blues tickets,
There you go.
which the game is on Tuesday the 17th.
Tuesday night.
The first night of kids camp,
That's right.
First
so
day of
come
kids
to
camp.
kids camp.
and then come stay for the game.
Yeah.
Have class.
Bummer. I'll go in your stand.
And then after that, just so everybody knows, we are at Broad Street
yes.
until further notice.
Indefinitely.
We're meeting here at Broad Street, 3450 Broad Street. Come find us until further notice. And
Ooh,
there it is.
I
He's
have
got
a meeting
something
in
coming
10
up.
minutes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So
That's good.
outside of
Anything else?
that, we started a new series on the life of David this
Yeah.
Sunday
Exciting.
called After His Heart. And we're going to talk about how God looks at the heart. People look at the outward appearance. Thank
Awesome.
God, because look at us.
Motley crew here.
This is the last Sunday with 4 service times. We mentioned this past Sunday.
Yeah,
but
we're
we
gonna move
still
to
have 8, 9:15, 10:45, and 6 this Sunday, and then we move into our summer service times of 9:15
Some of us
and 10:45 starting on June 22nd.
and
With Together Nights and some other
you got
fun
all
things
that.
coming up.
I don't
later
have
in the
much to
summer.
add to this conversation.
That's okay. Well, we're informing you.
Can you just commit to a weekly podcast through the summer?
Yeah.
Can we hold you to it? We'll do it on
Shake
your
on it.
schedule.
Shake on.
I was going to say, it
If
can't
you
be at
send
the...
it-
I'm actually missing something to be here today.
What are you
Wow.
missing?
My group supervision.
Boring.
But you know, it's not boring. This podcast. Thank you so much
But yes.
for joining us. Jordan will be back with us next week.
He will.
And,
If you send a
TBD.
calendar request, is Luke talking? If you,
no, I'm not.
Luke, he was nice to you today.
He was. Thank you guys for treating me well.
All right.
All right. Good to talk with you.
See
We'll
ya.
catch up with you soon.
Peace.